Hi again. So in this video, I just want to cover some basics of the nervous system that I think are important to understand. And let's start off with, the nervous system as the physical foundation of your manifestation. So as I mentioned before, your nervous system is really your interface with your reality. Because as I mentioned before, it is your frequency. So it really is the interface with your reality. I want you to kind of keep thinking about that. Like my nervous system, how I'm being, it is actually my interface with what's happening all the way around me. And so this system is actually processing billions of signals every second. It's quite incredible. And it's deciding whether your environment, so internal environment or external environment, is safe or dangerous, open or closed or aligned or chaotic. And what most manifestation technique or teachings, overlook, as I've said before, is that your body has to believe it's safe in order to have what it wants. And so otherwise, over time, it starts to sabotage that. And a lot of people are always so confused. I know when I work with people of like, why am I like self-sabotaging myself? And because the logical mind, the conscious mind says, I want this thing, but yet they're still sabotaging. And it's because the nervous system is really in a survival state. So the nervous system has a hierarchy, right? Or it operates in this flow in this system. And so you've got the brainstem, which covers your basic survival and safety. And then you have your limbic system, which stores the emotional memory and determines trust. And then the prefrontal cortex, which supports visioning, planning, meaning making, creating those goals. That's your prefrontal cortex. So we're going to keep it really basic here just to understand how it works. And so if your lower systems are actually dysregulated, then your higher visioning systems won't engage fully. And then manifestation becomes blocked at the root. And so this is why the nervous system regulation isn't just about self-care, but it's actually this bigger thing that's happening of alignment, this energetic alignment. So your capacity to like dream, to take action, to trust, to receive, all those things actually depends on your physiological availability. And when you begin honoring your nervous system as the bridge between the energetic and the physical, so it's like we want to get to manifesting matter, right? So before we get there, there's this bridge in between, which is your nervous system. And once you start to understand this, you unlock a deeper form of manifestation and one that includes your whole being. So we want to understand going from protection versus reception, right? And how dysregulation of, again, this nervous system actually blocks your manifestations. So if you think about every protective response in your body had to be learned on some level, right? It came from experiences that you were shown, that you were taught that wasn't safe. Sometimes like it feels like you've learned it's safe. It isn't safe to be seen. It isn't safe to succeed. It isn't really safe to rest or to feel, because if we feel things and someone could be putting us down, right? And then we learned that that wasn't safe. So the same nervous system has learned to survive, basically. And it also, though, can learn to receive in a different way. So the key difference between protection and reception is this like neuroception is your body's like unconscious ability to detect safety and danger, right? So at this deeper level, it's detecting what's going on. And so you actually may want to manifest more money or love, different experiences in your life, but your nervous system is like detecting, no, 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 that's a threat over there because of something that I learned before, a past betrayal, a past burnout, a past overwhelm. I mean, there's so many examples of this in people's life. When I work with people, I just, it's like an honor really to find out what has happened, in their past and, putting kind of together the puzzle pieces to understand the whole being that's in front of me, who I always see as perfectly healed. Um, but we have this nervous system that's detecting threat because of past experiences. And so it will default to safety and not expansion, right? Because it wants to stay safe, basically. And it's learned that expanding actually brings a lot of negative consequences with it. So if you think about it, it's really not a failure of the system, but it's intelligent, right? There's an intelligence in that. So your job isn't really to overpower the system, but your job is to retrain it with new experiences of trust, presence, and pleasure. Um, it really is about, like, I think through this course, with the different sound transmissions that are available, to retrain this nervous system to come into a place of wholeness and safety and a regulated feelings and thoughts and feeling safe in its environment so we can begin to choose differently. So thank you for being here today and setting this time aside to learn this little piece, and I'll see you in the next one.